All right, welcome to Velocity Podcast. Today I have Reilly Mitchell, a local realtor who is killing it on social media, and I wanted to just talk with you about how social media is a big part of a marketing plan, especially if you are up and coming. Like, you're not weighed down with all these traditional marketing, types of things that we normally would do because he's so young and new to the game and doing amazing things. So welcome. Thank you for being on Velocity. And do you want to just kind of introduce yourself?
For sure, yeah. So like you said, Reilly Mitchell, I'm a local realtor with the Crew Real Estate. I've been in real estate for 3 years now, licensed for a full year as of November of this year. And yeah, like you said, young, hungry, and trying to innovate in my ways of marketing.
Yeah, so I asked you on this podcast because the other day when you were talking, you mentioned that social media has played a role in helping sell houses. Do you want to dive a little deeper into like how that actually is? Is it what we're seeing all the time with the video elements? Is it other things?
Certainly, yeah. So social media, a lot of the time, people, obviously but people think it's entertainment.
Yeah.
For me, posting videos of houses, aside from Realtor.ca, it's the number 2 driver for views on houses that I'm selling. I find that when I post those videos, I often get messages and comments from people that are interested in a house like that.
Yeah.
And then I turn that into bring them into that house and trying to sell it to them, obviously. So
yeah. That's awesome, because I was talking to a realtor the other day, and they're like, I don't know if I should spend the money on a videographer, like, does it even work? And I wasn't the videographer, so I felt free to give my opinion. It's not like I'm trying to get your money, so yes, it works, I swear.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, why wouldn't you? Like, have you ever compared your listings? And it didn't seem like to be like a super educated opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that it can drive views, which potentially drive sales.
Totally. And like when I post a video, when I get a message and then I can get them into a showing, that's one showing that I wouldn't get otherwise, right?
Yeah.
And I get that all the time. Every house I post, I get messages about. So it's super valuable.
Yeah. So does it have to be like high quality video? Like I see the drones, I see the crew, or is it like, can you pop on your phone and do a little more organic, or do you do a mix of both?
You can kind of do a mix of both, but there's definitely value in doing it either way you do it. It's valuable to do it strategically and know what you're doing and do it purposely in a certain way.
Yeah, awesome. And when you look around at the competition, whether it's locally or on a bigger scale, do you see people doing this, or is this like a trend people are moving towards? Because like considering how many realtors we have in the Brantford area, and then let alone like going outside to Hamilton or the GTA or whatever, I am not seeing, like my whole feed isn't houses. So part of me is like, okay, there must be a small percentage that's taking advantage of like this new marketing.
Totally. Like you said, there's 600 real estate agents in Brantford, 100,000 in Toronto. So there's a lot of us. And not all of us are doing the new era kind of stuff. But there's definitely a lot that are switching to it now because they see the value in it. And not only that, but the clients see the value in it. So when I talk to clients about potentially selling their house, one of the big driving factors for me is that I do this modern marketing, and others just kind of don't. And there's a lot of them that don't.
Yeah. Interesting. What's another way? I know we've talked about groups and just other conversations where you're kind of able to build relationships through Facebook groups. You want to explain kind of your strategy behind that loosely?
For sure, yeah. Facebook groups are interesting, especially in Brantford. We've got a lot of like Ask Anything Brantford and obviously those kinds. And a lot of the time people go on there looking for help. So what I kind of try to do is bring them some kind of value, some kind of help that I can provide for them.
Yeah.
Have them reach out to me and then and get that message. And I have a large sphere of people that I'm grateful for that often are tagging me in that post, and clients that I've worked with before that are commenting testimonials of success stories that we've built together. So that's one of the driving factor for my business too is those Facebook groups. And there's a lot of value in being in those and being an active member of those, and it's being an active member of the community just online. Right?
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, what would you, like if you had to choose one to really focus on, what would you choose for your business?
For sure. I think a lot of the time the Instagram, TikTok kind of can go together a little bit. Like the Instagram Reels and TikToks are very similar. I get a lot more attention, I would say, on TikTok, but on Instagram, I get a lot more messages, which is great. Like that's what I'm looking for is comments, messages, people engaging with the post and the house itself. And more of the sales come from the Instagram, I'd say, which is great.
Okay. So you could say that in the past, you can definitely attribute like Instagram or any social media to helping you get the sale.
Totally.
Okay, that's awesome. Did you hear that?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
It works, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to your marketing, do you only focus on houses, or do you have another strategy or like strategies that you kind of mingle together?
For sure. So right now I'm more so focused on housing, or houses specifically. Like I've been only in this for a little bit of time. I need to kind of adapt and get into the more sales of my services, but that's where the Facebook, I think, groups kind of come in, where people are looking for specific things and help with specific things. I can kind of talk about the services that I specifically provide. But yeah, definitely marketing your services are super important too, and I don't do enough of that. I do more so market the property, and then that's a result too when like I said, when I meet with clients and I can show here, these are the things I do for the properties and this is the success that it's shown.
Okay, awesome. And so when it comes to social media, like everyone's on it, people spend like 2 hours a day on like Facebook alone, and they're scrolling. So do you have like a separate strategy for Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, or do you just kind of like meld it? It's just like, hey, you know what, the videos work, period. We're throwing it up there on across all the platforms and see what happens.
So I kind of have a specific, not necessarily strategy, but each app has their own algorithm, as you know, and often editing the video in that specific app and making it in that specific app, the algorithm pushes it further. So specifically in Instagram, one of the strategies that I do, keep them short, as short as possible, something that drives the attention right in the beginning, and it's the important pieces are in the beginning, and then if someone wants to stay and watch the whole video, they can. My biggest goal with those is afterwards looking at the insights and seeing that, for example, like 80% of the views are people that don't follow me, and I think that's super valuable for me to know as well, that these are new people that are looking at houses or looking at whatever, that aren't, you know, my friends or whoever's on there, right?
You know what, all those like kind of metrics are so important, even watch time, because you can see like, oh, people, you know, it's not just about, hey, I had 1,000 views or 80,000 views. It's like, okay, let's dive a little deeper, because I like that too. I like being in other people's feeds, not just like friends who are going to support me no matter what.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, all right, I liked how you mentioned something about, well, what I would call from Gary Vee, who would say it's the giving economy, like instead of being like, well, I'll tell you the answer, but you have to like sign the dotted line. You have more of an open approach, like, and more of an educational approach, I would say. Do you want to kind of just briefly touch on why you think that's so important?
For sure. I think that, you know, I'm in this, like I said, I'm fresh into this, somewhat anyway, and providing the value is super, super important regardless of whatever business you're in. And a lot of the time, like I said before, the people that are on there are looking for help in situations, and a lot of clients that I meet, they're looking for help in situations. I had a client recently, was dealing with some health issues, was super stressed out, didn't know what to do with the house and anything like that. And I can kind of come in and take care of it all and kind of take the weight off of those people. And I think that's super important. I think as a mentality as well, like I'm in this not for my own business, not just to help myself, but, and this is the mentality of the crew as well, is to help the people that we're working with and help each other as we work together. And I think that's super important ethics and morals to have in general.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. In general, I think it just makes you a nice person, and then also it's like kind of the differentiating factor, you know, like why should I choose you or you? Well, this person's with me even after the sale of the house, or like when I'm overwhelmed. So I love that. Alrighty, any words of wisdom to new or old people who are not doing anything like with social media when it comes to marketing at all?
Start.
Start.
Yeah, the basic thing. I mean, like you never really know what you're doing until you start doing it, and people are kind of afraid to get their face and their voice out there. I've never been one to really care about any of that, and I think it's super important, like I've said and explained, like the reasons why it's super important to do these things. So just start, just do it, I think is the number one thing.
I love it. That's what I literally always tell everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so the last question I always ask my podcast guests is, what's on your career bucket list?
For sure. So I currently sell real estate. I want to get into more of the investment side of real estate personally. I'm, like we've talked about, I'm young here, and I've got a lot of time left to get into that kind of stuff. I want to eventually be doing, you know, flipping houses and investing and having rental properties and stuff like that. And that's really a goal for me, and that's a short-term goal as well as a long-term goal.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, how can they follow you?
Yeah, it's Reilly Mitch, ReillyMitch on all platforms. Feel free to give me a follow. Message me if you need any houses information or know anyone that needs help with anything regarding real estate.
All right, awesome. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Velocity Podcast. Thank you for coming on and spending some time with me. And see you later.